The Storm's victory ends Dallas' 5-game winning streak and gives Seattle 16-6 more wins than it had in the entire 2017 season, 15. In a back-and-forth game, it was not surprising that Saturday night's matchup between the league's two highest-scoring offenses, the Storm and Dallas Wings, would come down to the final minute. And it was not surprising that Sue Bird, while fighting through an illness, would rally to put the dagger in the Wings' hopes of completing the comeback. Bird left the game in the second quarter with an illness, but returned in the third and drained a three-pointer with 1:04 to play in the game to put the Storm up by 5. It was huge momentum swing after Dallas had pulled within one only 18 seconds earlier. Though the Wings narrowed the deficit to 4 with 18 seconds to play, they never got any closer, with Seattle converting from the foul line for a 91-84 win at Key Arena. That was probably the play of the game, Storm forward Breanna Stewart said of Bird's three-pointer. "We knew she wasn't feeling great, but she still rolled it out and she did what great players do, stepped up when we needed her most." The Storm's victory ends Dallas' 12-9, 5-game winning streak and gives Seattle 16-6 more wins than it had in the entire 2017 season, 15. The first-place Storm remained the only team in the WNBA to have not dropped back-to-back games this season. Stewart earned her fifth double-double of the season with a season-high 35 points and 10 rebounds on 12 for -22 shooting, including 3 for 6 from three-point range. It was the second most points in her career, behind the 38 she scored against Atlanta in 2016. Stewart's performance was critical given Bird's illness, Joe Lloyd's slow night scoring-wise for three-quarters of the game, and Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis' absence due to a concussion. Stewart was ready for that moment and realized it very well. Storm coach Dan Hughes said. As Stewart was interviewed on the court post-game, the crowd chimed in with an MVP chant. Stewart leads the league at 22.5 points per game and is tied for fourth with 8.1 rebounds per game. "Stewie's amazing. I want to be like Stewie when I grow up," Storm forward Natasha Howard said. "Stewie can do it all. She's the real MVP." Howard and Lloyd rounded out the Storm's top scorers with 17 and 13 points, respectively. The Storm were able to out-rebound the second-best rebounding team in the league, 41-37. They had 17 offensive rebounds which led to 15 second-chance points, which Hughes saw as the difference-maker in the game. 6'8" center Liz Cambage was limited to 4 rebounds despite averaging 9.4 coming into the game. The Storm also shot 20 for 27 from the free throw line, including a critical 11 for 14 mark in the fourth quarter. The Storm had 15 turnovers, which led to 21 Wings points. Hughes noted that the team is still learning to take better care of the ball and to not play too fast, which he believes will be necessary if the team wants to make a deep postseason run. "I think it's us learning to play in these big games. It's us playing a little fast," Hughes said. "But we need to play in games like this and we need to understand what they're like, because the journey we want to take is going to put us in these types of games." Building off a 46-44 halftime lead, the Storm's 10-0 run to start the second half gave them a 12-point advantage, its largest lead of the game, halfway through the third quarter. But behind 9 third-quarter points from Skylar Diggins-Smith and 5 from Alicia Gray, the Wings clawed back to tie the game with 34.6 seconds to go in the third quarter. Cambage and Diggins-Smith had 23 and 21 points, respectively, to lead Dallas, and Kayla Thornton had a career-high 18 points, including 14 in the first half. The Storm will be back in action Wednesday when it plays at Chicago, kicking off a long road trip in which it will play 9 of its next 12 games away from Key Arena.